can see an advertisement on your screen now for that clan. It's Tau.net. That's Tau.net. Has over 100 Dota players, specifically in the US region, but also across both Europeans and the Australian time zones, and now also into Southeast Asia. So if you're in any of those time zones and you want to sort of get into weekly practices or get into structured coaching, I would suggest highly that you go along to Tau.net and sign up. You can potentially use my name as a reference if you like. But most of all, those guys are fun and friendly, and they can be quite competitive, which sometimes is good, but they're very friendly. Well, I have found them to be very friendly. Doing a quick plug here for Kiwi Challenge Series 2, 18 teams going head to head in the 12th to the 28th of July. Add to your Steam account Dota2 New Zealand or D2NZ. He will be casting those games. I will be doing spectator casting. They have some restrictions on the casting from the sponsors, so he's going to be casting those games himself. You can watch those games, and that's just starting next week. So unfortunately, intake for that event is closed. The next event being 24 teams head to head, just after TI3, or that's the what's been given up to me at this stage. And you can see the round information on your screen. This is a Tau in-house game, a practice game, just between two equally pair matched up teams of people at approximately the same level in captain's mode, and the game is already underway and we're going to jump right into it. I'm on my own, no Coco today, so let's have a look and see how we're going. As you can see here, the Dire team choosing to ban out a Trent and a Nyx Assassin. The Tree being one of my favourite heroes at present in the game, with such large global potential with his heal. He can heal towers as well as heroes. You know, everyone watching this knows that. They know his capabilities, but you don't. Some players don't realize he's such an amazing initiator into teamfights or counter initiator. He can be invisible and he can run out with his ult, and his ult goes through BKB, and it breaks through other abilities that other people don't realize. Can't be countered, and with a blank dagger, it's just amazing. In my opinion, one of the greatest heroes in the game. They've also banned their Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin being one of those heroes, really centerpiece to a lot of people's tri lanes. Very strong with that initiation, with the impale, but also with that with the spines, and with Vendetta, really capable of not only just ganking but also pursuing, and also diving as well, to pick off those kills and then just sort of vendettaing away. On the Swaggers team, or the Radiant team, you can see they've chosen to ban out Visage and Lifestealer, two of the best tri-lane heroes in the game, being banned out just immediately straight off the bat. They don't want to fight that potential, and they've also, as you can see, I'm a little bit slow here today, but you can see they've already gone into a second stage of banning as well, but we'll jump onto that really quickly. For their pickup in the mid position, it looks like they're picking up a Batrider. That's the Dire that is, and they've picked up the Batrider really strong with that lasso, with that ability to sort of just maneuver around the map into positions where people don't expect players to be, up on cliffs and forests, above rivers, in positions, and sort of get over those terrain obstacles, pick somebody up, quickly force stuff out with that lasso, and bring them into a position where the rest of the team can kill them. And then it's a 4-on-5 or a 3-on-4, and you've got a terrible scenario, and they can start to sort of affect the team. It just takes somebody out of that equation really early. They've picked up Weaver for that off-lane position. Solo, we see Weaver quite a lot in that position in my casts. Sometimes in a tri-lane, but he's got those two escapes that everyone just thinks are escapes. They're not just escapes. They give Weaver this potential to dive beyond when normal heroes would dive. Take a little bit of damage and then ult out. On the Radiant team, they've picked up Shadow Demon and Jinkara for their first two picks. Probably in the top 5, top 6 of the support picks, in my opinion. Well, in top heroes all out, in my opinion, for that tri-lane. Definitely a tri-lane, and I can see there for their third pick they picked up Slark. Slark, that's just a tri-lane right there. I don't know where Slark is currently fitting into their strategy, but that is just a tri-lane on its own. It's got an Immobilize, it's got the Ice Path, and it's got the Disruption. That's all you need. That's going to be an offensive tri-lane, in my opinion, but let's carry on with the bans. Back to the Dire, and going fast now, as I have missed out a little bit. They've picked up Rubik. Rubik being one of those heroes that has that ability to kind of restrict your opponent's ability to build a roster that has teamfight in it. However, I think that really, for that to be effectual, that needs to come out in the beginning, the first 1 or 2 picks for Rubik, so that you've announced at present, hey, if you pick up any team fights, we're going to steal the results. But in saying that, it doesn't matter. You know, Rubik as the last pick, Rubik as a fifth pick. He's still going to be influential in the game. He's going to be able to steal those ults, those abilities. Not even just ults, just generic abilities which have enough range for him to not get engaged if he not to want to engage, or he can steal that ice path, or he can steal that disruption. And those minor abilities also being very, very useful. To the second round of banning, you can see the Dire. They have banned out OD. They've chosen not to fight against an OD. OD now starting to sort of come up in the tier 1, tier 2 ranks towards the top a bit more as a mid player position, but also that also an offlaner if you have to. Also Puck in the same ballpark as now OD, being banned out because they don't want to fight him in that mid position. They've got someone in mind. Queen of Pain is in the pool, and I'm probably picking that. At least one of these two teams is going to be picking up Queen of Pain. On to the Radiant team. They've chosen to ban it to get two really good supports, banning out that Bane with that Nightmare, with that Fiend's Grip, I think it's called. Have a quick look. I can't recall what the name of the abilities. I've played Bane a number of times. I just call it the ult. Banning out that ult, shutting down that Bane. So they're really kind of trying to restrict. They think that this is potentially the tri lane, but they want to eliminate or minimize the amount of other supports they could call on. And they've banned out that Warlock. That Warlock not seeing a lot of tier 1 play recently. Seeing some emergence through the sort of pool play and in tier 2 ranks, but really the Golems being predictable in terms of if you can bait those Golems out early, you've really shut down a lot of the potential damage for a team fight. And so there is a bit of a risk with taking Warlock, although he is potentially strong with that Fatal Bonds. And we have a quick look at the 5th position pickup. We can see 4th position pickup. We can see Undying for the Dire team, possibly going to go into a tri-lane with Rubik and one other. Although he may be the solo offlane, and we may see Weaver instead taking up that position. For the Radiant, you can see they've picked up Viper. Viper being one of those heroes that, and I don't want to sort of downplay people at all, because people are strong in tower, strong players, but Viper being one of those heroes, it's kind of like Drow, just right click stuff and it dies. His abilities do what they're supposed to do, and he doesn't have much depth in the way he's versatile. He just rocks up, he ults, he sort of right clicks people, he right clicks somebody else, he shadow blades away if he can, and that's kind of just how he plays. But he's got that huge power potential in terms of being able to knock out a lot of damage, and it's going to be quite scary for the Dire team. Into the last bans now. We've banned out that Sven. We've bound that for the or I should say the Dire have banned out that Sven. They're looking like, hey look, you've got most of your supports. They've switched from banning Carrot, or they've just banned Sven. I'm not really sure why they banned Sven. I don't think they would have picked up Sven, but they were just thinking, hey, we don't want to fight a Sven, so get that out of the pool. And a Faceless Void being the last pick banned for the Radiant. I don't think that was a wise decision, unless it's a bit of a meta gaming going on here. They do kind of know each other, they play regularly, so perhaps they're thinking, hey, let's ban out this Faceless, because it is a big pickup by these guys that like to play Faceless. Myself, I don't think Faceless fits into any tier 1, tier 2 team type fight scenarios. He can do that carry in pub, and you see that quite regularly, but in team plays he's just too easy to shut down. He just can't get the farm in a tri-lane scenario as effectively, and he can't sort of finish off people without some heavy duty supports to back him up. In that last pick position for the Radiant, we see they've picked up Pudge. Where's Pudge gonna go? That's the question I've got on my mind. Is he going to take the traditional mid position where he can then rotate at level 6 or 7 to go and gank in the side lanes, fresh meeting it up all the way through? Does the player playing Pudge have enough skills to do so? Or they've got some next level strategy where they're putting Pudge into a tri lane. I have seen some extremely successful Pudge rotations into a sort of a 3 as a sort of kind of like a support in the tri lane. He has this ability to weirdly hook out creeps, so he can actually pull the lane in a different way. That's how I saw him used last time as a support in the tri-lane. But with this current lineup, this is what I'm expecting to see. Pudge in the middle, Viper into the tri-lane with Jinkiro and the Shadow Demon, and Slark way out on the outside on the solo lane by himself. While in a is this going to be defensive tri? It's going to be defensive tri lane, so he's going to be on the top. It's like going to be on the top lane by himself. with the Dire team, they're probably looking to pick up here a really good carry that's going to complement either Undying and Rubik in this tri lane, or because I don't see Batrider or Weaver sitting into any of those. Either of those could be mid, either Weaver or Batrider could be in the long lane. So I really think they're looking for somebody who's going to be babysitted in that tri lane, which is probably also going to be defensive. No, I'm wrong. They pick up that Queen of Pain. They've banned out all those mid counter parts, and they're thinking, hey, look, it's probably going to be Pudge mid, and they're probably taking their time to discuss, can you out Pudge the Pudge in the middle position with your Queen of Pain? Are you going to be able to take the damage or be able to dodge those hooks and yet get that CS? And we know from all the past casts that I've done in the past, Queen of Pain ranking easily in the top 2 position for the best mid choice against any other hero other than Puck. And in this lineup, I'm favouring the Queen of Pain quite substantially. That ability to blink around and get those runes and rune domination really hurt Pudge. He's going to need good support. He's going to need vision on those wards. He's going to need support from the support players to possibly even go and get those runes when he knows he can't get them. Because otherwise, he's not going to be putting anything in his bottle. It's all going to be Queen of Pain. And she's already going to probably be harassing him out in the early stages of the laning phase. And he's not going to get that high CS. So, right now, they're possibly this could be a tactical pause now. They weren't expecting possibly to pick up 4 Queen of Pain, and they're now rethinking whether or not they are going to put this Pudge in the mid position. I still think possibly the Viper would be better, although he still can't out mid a Queen of Pain. Although I don't know how Slark would do. I haven't seen a Slark up against the Queen of Pain just yet. But there is a quick pause there. So while we do the quick pause, go back into the plugins for Tau. Tau, if you're not familiar with Tau, Tau is a clan that I am attached to. I do join their weekly practices for the Australian New Zealand group on a Sunday at about 10 PM New Zealand time. But also it's about 6 to 7 Australian, depending on where you are in Australia. I think it's 8 in Perth, or I don't really know actually. I'm sort of talking at my ass in terms of Australian times. But we do know that they're looking for more players. They currently have somewhere between 20 and 30. About 15 to 20 show up on any given practice. They do have a tiered system, and they do have structured play so that you can progress. They'll help you progress. They want you to progress so that they have more of what they call the elites playing. And they do enter in some events in the Australian New Zealand circuit. If you're not inside Australia New Zealand, there's still a lot of players, particularly in those American playtime brackets and in their European type lane brackets. They're quite strong. I believe when I last checked on TeamSpeak for an American scheduled practice event, there was at least 6 or 7 teams, or 8 teams the last time I went. So that's quite a lot of players showing up for practice, showing up for some structured play, and the game is now being unpaused and we're going back into the game. Have a quick look at the early game items. We can see now that smoke being picked up on the Undying, as well as some sentry wards, so it looks like we could potentially see an early engagement in the bottom Radiant jungle, or that smoke just being picked up early for later engagements. But that sentry ward's probably going to be used to either deward or block out the camps in the bottom lane, since he's already rotating in that direction. In the top lane here we have... what do we have? We have Undying and Rubik moving into the top lane position for possibly a tri-lane setup. Well, they're potentially just scouting out the early jungle. Let's just see. And the game's being paused again. The gamer pauses. Back to the plugins. If you're not familiar with the Kiwi Challenge series, as you can see on your screen, it is the 12th to the 20th of July. I've already done a plug. I've done a plug in every single cast I've done. I am unofficially casting the beginning and the end of this tournament. I will not be casting the middle. I will be away at PAX and PubStomp, doing some Dota related stuff at PubStomp and going to see Penny Arcade convention in Melbourne, so I won't be there for them. It's for that mid of that event. I have found potentially somebody to take over my slot for my website at least, so that we at least have continuity through those games. But back into the game as it is now unpaused. We see Queen of Pain moving up into this top lane position by herself. She looks like she is going to be doing the safe lane defensive area jungle by herself, just at this stage. Batrider in the mid position where you would expect him to see, and Weaver now filling that tri-lane position with Undying and Rubik. They do have some potential for ganks here. I don't think this is offensive enough, no, though, for an offensive tri lane. I could be wrong, because there is no lockdown on the Weaver. There's only this pickup, and there's only this tombstone. So it's going to be a lot of strength sap harassment in order to sort of drive them down. They're going to possibly suffer from the element of being under-leveled if they don't get enough kills. In the bottom lane here, it's up against a it's up against a lone Viper. This Viper possibly, you know, although I said that they need to get those kills, they're going to get those kills against this lone Viper. Viper having no escapes, having no lockdown, but having a lot of damage. He's easily going to be harassed and pushed out of that lane. In the top lane here, we see a tri-lane which consists of Pudge! Pudge in a tri-lane! Successful! With a Jinkuru and a Shadow Demon, they're choosing to block out these creeps because they want to engage what they think is going to be a defensive tri-lane, and it's not. It's a lone Queen of Pain. And here, we've got this matchup that's not going to be particularly good for this Queen of Pain, though she can always just blink away and she's going to be alright. Yeah, as you can just see there, she's got a lot of escape. That's all she's really got against these guys. They're not going to nail her down, but they are going to deny her significant farm. They may get some kills. They're going to suffer from the same scenario that potentially the bottom lane would suffer from, but without the issue of Viper escaping. Viper's not going to be able to escape out of anything, and if this Rubik comes in with a telekinesis for the initiate, or if there's an undying tombstone with this already really slow Viper, he's going to get picked off really early and really easy. He has to play very, very safe. Being strength safe right there now, and you know, and a lot of people always forget that strength safe, it just lowers your total hit points, and it's just sort of very subtle, and if you don't pay attention to it, all of a sudden you're sitting on 600 hit points, or in this case 300, potentially 300 hit points, and you know, that's just a couple of right clicks and you're dead. In the mid here, we've got Slark up against the Batrider. I haven't seen many Slark players in the mid position. This is unusual. I think he's going to be out harassed with this sticky tar. He's going to find it difficult to get those last hits and be able to get in and out as well as he would like. But he is going to be he's going to be upper mobile in terms of ganking really, really early. Slark not needing those items to be effectual in ganking in the early phases, although items definitely do help. He's one of those heroes that items just help him snowball, but his abilities help him just to kill players. And he's going to get those early levels. He's going to rotate out, especially into this top lane, and look for kills. Let's have a quick look at the CS. There's a little action going on. Oh, we see Viper. Viper has TP top. It looks like the Radiant have decided to put Viper in the top lane position and to rotate out to meet their tri-lane in the bottom position. I think this was a wise choice. I think Viper will have a much better time against Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain going to be in the similar position she was already in. She's going to have to look out and avoid that damage that's going to come out from Viper. So not much change for the Queen of Pain, although she's not going to get caught and sort of locked down and killed. Better choice for the Radiant, and more targets for Pudge, and that's really, really important when you've got a Pudge who is in basically in the support role in the side lane. I don't think he's in a carry position. I think really this Jinkuro is going to be carrying better than a Pudge, although he is the only one that's going to really benefit from a lot of kills. Yeah, it's a three support lane hero, but they're using the Pudge as the sort of what you would use the carry for to secure those kills and level up. And I think Pudge in the side lane is a good tactic. I've only seen it used once, and I've seen him used as a support role to sort of pull hooks in and for the carry, but also to do this weird pull thing where you can pull creeps from miles away and pull sort of this camp into. So you pull it, then you walk away, then you hook him, and then these guys aggro and they walk all the way up to this camp, and you pull these guys at the same time, so you can deny better. And I've seen that done with Pudge a few times. But you can see here they're jostling for position here. The Dire looking to pick somebody up. They're getting a little bit desperate now. They thought they were going to have a good time with that Viper, but everyone's got ward coverage in this area. Everyone's playing it safe. And there's a hook going down onto. Oh, that's an exciting play here. Hook goes down onto Undying. Almost gets killed, but then there's a follow through with a Rubik stun. Even though he gets Ice Path, he doesn't die, and instead we see a dead Pudge. Pudge being picked off. Well played there by the Dire team. Meanwhile, let's have a quick look. Is this going to wait? It's going to potentially eventuate into another engagement. Jinkuro choosing to back off. There is a bit of a out of position, Undying. He's going to be picked off again with another thing. He's going to be hooked. It's going to be Ice Path. He's going down. No, he uses the heal. Can they pick off this Undying? No, he's so tanky. He gets away, and Pudge is getting right click down. Is he going to go down? No, but then we see the same thing happening to Weaver. He's looking to escape. He's waiting for 2, 3, 1, and he Zakuzi's away. And we see, and he doesn't Zakuzi away. They just walk on out. They don't even need to beat defeat, and everyone backs off. In any case, let's have a quick look at the CS now that everybody is in a backed off position. We see quickly that Slark is picking up more CS than the Batrider. In fact, he is sitting at 18, where the Batrider is only sitting at 11. This is going to equate to probably a number of early items for the Slark, which is going to really just increase his potential to gank, and it's really going to shut down this farm for this Blink Dagger for the Batrider. And now he's just casually walking into the top lane, looking to hopefully help assist in ganking off this Viper. Let's see if they are successful. This Queen of Pain, she's doing really, really well with her farm. She is sitting toe-to-toe with the Viper, but a nice sort of revenge kill here would be good for the team. But, you know, this Batrider too slow. He needed those boots. He has a lasso, but he doesn't have enough mana to use it. He throws down a napalm, and now he can't really do anything. And now he's backing out into the middle. This could be backfiring because we see Slark rotating in. He's looking to jump. Is Slark going to catch him? Oh, he sees him. He tries to retreat. He's calling for help. Queen of Pain coming to get. This could be anyone's kill. There's too much jostling for position. Viper's coming in. Everybody's here. Viper opening up with a right click. And we see this is a disaster for the Batrider. He choosing to go down that river instead of through the jungle has cost him his life, and potentially could have also costed him that Queen of Pain's life. But it is a 1-for-1. In the bottom lane here, in terms of farm, we see Weaver. He's doing quite well on 18 CS. He is totally outpacing any of the supports that are in this bottom lane position. We've got Shadow Demon on 0, we've got Jinkuro on 2, and we've got Pudge on a measly 13. He is staying very reasonably close to this Viper, to this Weaver. It's not too far away, although this Weaver's on 21. That is a big gap, and that's the problem. I don't see this tri lane really getting a lot of CS. They need to get their CS or their gold up through the kills. And they've got the ability to do it with the Slark rotating in. Can they do it? The Die team said they choose to retreat, and they're safe. Nice call with that ward. No ward vision, but they just said this, announcing their presence just a little bit too early. Slark and Shadow Demon. Maybe perhaps if they had waited just a few seconds, if for this Die team to push down there, that could have been a 3-man kill for exchange for maybe possibly even only just one. In the top lane here, Viper having picked up that Wraith Band, having picked up boots, now probably going to build towards the Ring of Aquila, if not rushing towards, he's gone for Power Treads instead, probably going to go for Ring of Aquila next, or he's just going to rush that Shadow Blade because he needs some form of escape against the team he's playing. Queen of Pain, she's doing okay against the Viper. They're very neck and neck in terms of CS, but you know, the top 4 heroes, which are Slark, going down the bottom position here, we see there's some strength snaps going down onto Pudge, and there's a bit of harassment going on. That looks like they're trying to jostle in for a kill. Shadow Demon looking to move out and stack. I think the Dire know this. They know that there's no Shadow Demon that he's stacking, and they really want to take advantage of it, but they just don't have the creep wave to do so. Shadow Demon having now stacked that camp, and now looking to probably pull and deny some CS to an XP to this offensive tri lane. Who's winning? Who's winning? If you're listening to this cast, who do you think is winning right at this present time? I can't tell you, to be sure. The graphs, they probably don't tell me anything useful. Oh, we see a nice ice path down onto to Weaver, but he had already Zakuzi'd, so they didn't know if they got him or not, so they couldn't follow through. We see a nice disruption and a Soul Catcher. Soul Catcher being really, really good for everyone else, but unfortunately he hooks the illusion instead of the Undying. And Shadow Demon taking an ornamental replacement. Nice rotation and again from the Slark, but then here comes Batrider to save the day. Can he save the day? Down goes Shadow Demon. He gets Ice Path. This is going to be disastrous for the Dire team. No, wait, they managed to equate it. It's 2 for 1, potentially 3 for 2. People dropping everywhere, particularly to Weaver. Well done to the Dire, managing to salvage what could have been a disaster. Slark also coming in to pick off somebody. Queen of Pain looking to escape, having rotated in from the top lane. There's a pick up there from Rubik. There's some right clicks. Can they do it? Can the Slark get away? Slark choosing to pop his ult, but he's not gonna retreat. He's gonna stay around. He's gonna right click down, or he's going to try right click down. It's gonna cost him his life. That was a mistake. Ice Path saving him, and potentially a pick up here with the Queen of Pain also. She's looking to TP out. There's just damage going down, and everybody single filing in and trying to engage and finish off players, and all taking large risks. There's a pick up here, and there's a slam. There's a nice path. There's a Weaver. What's going to go and happen? And there's another kill going to the tire. And we lose Rubik finally after all of that damage being nailed down onto Rubik and Undying. They only managed to pick off one. Well done to both teams. Excellent rotation from all players involved. Everybody TPing and reactionary TPs coming in from both sides. Good rotations from both the middles, and just everybody being caught off by everybody else. Who won that engagement? I would say probably the Die just slightly, although they did lose. Basically, it was an even fight, and everybody came out on top. But it did look like, from my casting position where I'm sitting, that the Radiant were they felt more dominant in the actual plays that they were making, whereas the Radiant felt less dominant in the position and the plays they were making. The Dire felt more like it was more comfortable for them, and it would look like it was more of a reaction, quick thinking reaction that saved or got the kills for the Radiant team. In the top position here again, Viper choosing to go back to the top. He's now picked up a band of Elvis. He's looking to go straight into that Yasha. And go straight for that Manta style rather than opting out for some escape capabilities with that Shadow Blade. Whether or not that was a wise choice, I guess the viewers will be able to tell me. There's a lot of right clicking going down on here, but I think he's just going to get away. This is bad news for this Batrider though. He's not really. Oh wait, and that scream. Oh wow, it's a 1-for-1. Good trade. I totally forgot about the scream. It just goes through the invisibility. I thought that was going to be a dead Batrider. I thought that he was just going to pop his ult, right click on the Batrider and then jump away. But I forgot that the scream actually goes through, or the ult actually goes through invisibility, and will just hit whatever it hits. In the bottom lane we hear a hook going on. There's a hook, there's a fade, there's just people dropping everywhere. And it's not worked out for the Dire team. Too much damage coming out of this Weaver. Fade bolt, and we see, look, he's going to use his ult. He's going to dive. Yeah, and he uses his ult. Great use of this Weaver, diving at the right time, picking off the players where they needed to. But probably what happened here is that there was an initiation by the Pudge. A hook drawed them in, and unfortunately, he'd already been Shapsteff down enough for him just to be right-clicked out. And once the Pudge is taking too much damage, the rest of the team just fell apart. Although I think the first person to actually die was the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon, when you play Shadow Demon, you have to kind of not be picked off first. It's hard, but you are a long player in the sense of when there's a team fight or when there's a skirmishing or engagement, you need to be around for the length of that, to throw down your Shadow Poison, to have your Soul Catcher on, to be able to chuck your ult, be able to disrupt. That's what you'll have to do. So you kind of need to hang back a little bit, although you are the initiator. So it's a difficult kind of this counterish role where you don't really want to be too far forward, but you don't really want to be too far back. Another rotation in from the middle to this bottom lane. It's going to be another 3-on-4 engagement. Slark looking to pick off somebody. Everyone, no one choosing to back out. Everyone just choosing to right click and then stick around. And we see that Soul Catcher on the Weaver, but he's choosing just to harass down that easy kill, which is Shadow Demon. Oh no, and there's Dust. He does ult out of it, but unfortunately he's got no cooldowns. 1, 2, 3, he gets away. No, Ice Path just knew. He's got Burning. They don't see him. Pudge, if he had that rod, that would have been a dead Weaver, but he didn't know he was there, and someone's being disrupted. They've got Rubik, who's gone down to a bunch of right-clicking. Shadow Demon looking for a way out. Can he escape? He's trying to run. He's running. Can he get away? Slark coming in to save the day, but he might be too much. Yeah, and Slark picks off that Undying. Great save there by the Slark, otherwise that Shadow Demon would have actually gone down. And again, the Radiant managing to salvage any bad situation and turn it back into a draw. The Dire being far more offensive and far more confident in the way that they're currently playing, causing some headaches for the Radiant, especially those that tri-lane support bottom was not doing particularly well. Let's have a quick look at those kills and assists. You can see that Weaver, Slark picking up the majority of the kills so far in the game, followed by Undying, which is probably just picked up with zombies and a combination of Strength Sap, particularly off of that SD. and off of that Pudge. Pudge picking up 2 kills but having died 3 times, and everyone else just sitting on a small amount. Most assists currently going to this Undying, so you can see that in this bottom lane here, this is where the action's all happening. This is where the majority of the Radiant deaths are happening, but it's also where they're getting the most kills. They're rotating in with the Slark, they're rotating in with the Viper and picking up some additional kills where they can. It's all going for the Radiant, it's all going to Slark, and I think that's the wisest choice. I don't think with the Viper, with the kind of farming he's got at the moment, the position he's in, the fact that he had to change lanes and rotate, I don't think just feeding all the kills to him would have been smart anyway, because he had this sort of slow start. Slark, on the other hand, the quicker they can get him into that mid-game phase, the quicker he can shine. That's where he peaks, that's where he plateaus, and that's where he's very, very strong. Late game, he seems to peter off a little bit. But, you know, if he can get him early into that mid-game type phase, into those levels, mid-levels, really, really early, it's going to be a nightmare. So let's have a quick look at the levels to see whether or not they're getting close to that. And they are indeed very, very close. Level 13 is probably where Slark is going to start being a pain in the butt, especially for these level 9 guys and level 6 and 5 guys. So all the levels really, the high levels going currently to the Radiant team, and this is where all the salvaging is coming from these high level heroes, and they're doing it well. We see a rotation into the mid, everyone, reactionary TPs from the entire, well, I should say the entire, from 2 of the Dire team to make a 5-man Dota team in the middle of, that consists of Dire. The Radiant responding by also grouping up into the mid, and they're now going to all be jostling for position, although they don't realize it, there's an invisible Queen of Pain, and they're looking to pick off somebody. Oh, and there's a nice hook! There's a nice hook onto that Weaver, but Weaver forcing that Weaver to use his ult. He hasn't got it for diving. He hasn't got it for any upcoming team fights. The Queen of Pain still looking for somebody. No one being out of position, and oh, another hook from here from Pudge would have been great, and it would have sort of turned the towers. But look, this Queen of Pain, your invisibility is going to run out in about 15 seconds. Some play needs to happen, or she needs to back off. Otherwise, if she's still there when it reveals, like it's about to, she's going to be in a disastrous position. Yeah, she's getting right-click down now. She's looking to jump out, but the rest of the Radiant team coming in to make sure that they can escort this Queen of Pain out. They don't want to lose their mid carry. Just to an easy pick-off. Yeah, everyone kind of doing this thing which I call Neandering, where they're grouped up into 5-man, they're jostling for position, but they're not really getting a lot of farm, they're not being really effectual in terms of pushing all the lanes, they're both just waiting for somebody to be out of position and make a mistake. And then they're going to capitalize. It doesn't matter who it is, the other team will capitalize, and we'll start to see a snowball, hopefully. Slark choosing to abandon the mid position. He realizes this whole Neandering is not really working out. Same for the Queen of Pain and also for Pudge. Pudge on his own, all down by the bottom. Queen of Pain looking to rotate around through the back, through the jungle. She's taking a long way around, looking to sort of try and sandwich these 3 guys in the middle with the help of Undying and the rest of her team. Can they do it? And they all descend onto the mid position. It's a 4-on 5 engagement. Abilities going down everywhere. There's a tombstone down. There's a scream. No focus, but heroes are dropping anyway. We see the wrong kinds of heroes. Undying goes down. We see Rubik go down. We see Jinkira go down, and we see Batrider go down. That circle round engagement not working out. Pudge not really doing anything while he's there, but we see Slark having rotated back in to pick off some of those kills, and also they're going to get possibly this Weaver if they can help it. And there's a hook and a dismember onto Weaver. That is the biggest disaster that could have happened for the Dire team. Their long game carry being picked off by Pudge with the assistance of both Viper and Slark. They did pick off some kills, the Dire, but they're going completely in the favor, in my opinion, of the Radiant. And let's have a look at the graphs. What do they say? They totally agree with me. We see Team Swag, all the Radiant side of the Tau teams, getting this gigantic leap in the graph in such a small period of time. Also in gold, now equating. They were starting to drop off a little bit, but now they're back into the game. But XP wise, good plays there by the Radiant. They're now feeling more confident in how they're playing. They're not doing this reactionary cleanup thing as they were doing before. They reacted very well to the encircling and the flanking from the Dire team, and in fact turned it around, and the Dire had suffered as a result. Back to CS, we can see here that Viper has now surpassed everybody at 64 CS to 51 for the Weaver and 49 for the Queen of Pain. We see Weaver also denying a tower, probably bottom tower at this stage here, denying a tower at the same time, and no, not denying, picking it up, I apologize, picking up a tower, and that's just going to help them even more with their gold. More farm is probably coming out of the Radiant, just slightly is coming out of the Radiant team. Overall, Team CS is really close. But individual CS, it's all the carries, as you would expect. Then Batrider, then Pudge. Pudge being the one that's disappointing, as he was fulfilling this kind of CS pickup carry role in the tri-lane that they had going. But I'm still glad that we saw a Pudge in a tri-lane, because I still think it is a valid tactic. However, I'd like to see him being used as a support.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We see the Dire team pushing down the middle tower here. No real reaction from the Radiant, although Pudge is looking to go and see if he can pick up somebody with an easy hook. Although I think if he does hook someone, this will backfire, especially if he... Oh no, he hooks the right person, he hooks Rubik. Rubik goes down easily. There's a Slag quickly running in with the haste rune. He slams onto somebody. There's a gravestone going up. What's going to happen? Or a tombstone going up. What's going to happen? We see a Pudge. We see everybody using abilities and just right-clicking on that Undying to get him down with both the help of Jinkara and Viper. Easy kills there. Easy money. You know, subtracting from health and adding to wealth, just as you would expect. Radiant now being for the first time in the game, now starting to be offensive, pushing across the other side of the river, looking to pick up their first tower. Getting some slight harassment from this Weaver, but they shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't be afraid with that Pudge just sitting there. That Pudge looking to hook. He misses. And unfortunately, they don't get that tower, although the potential was really close. But you know what? Batrider farming for something. While his mid tower gets pushed down and there's only one defender, and we see Weaver being caught out of position, being dusted and just being ice path to death, and also Undying. This Batrider farming in the jungle still is probably the reason why there was so much pressure on the mid tower in the first place. If Batrider had been in that mid position where he needed to be, just by his presence, it would have caused the Radiant team to be a bit more cautious. Queen of Pain now being picked off. This is a bloodbath. This is officially the beginning of a snowball as Rubik also goes down, and GG is called. GG is called. Oh wait, no, this is a spectator call. I apologize. No, GG is being called. GG is being called by the Dire team. I don't know if that's a serious GG, but that is officially a snowball if it's not a GG. Yeah, it is a GG, and that was game 1 potentially of game 3. Tau in-house, one of the premium bracket here, no, not premium brackets, one of the brackets here. I'm not sure which one. I have to jump on TeamSpeak to find out. But man, that was amazing. I think that Batrider being out of position is really what punished the Dire. Like I said, if his presence just in the mid lane, in and around those fights, even if he's not really doing anything except throwing down Sticky Tower, is all he really needs to do, because they're not really wanting to go and engage in that. The Radiant team are going to be a bit more hesitant. They may still commit to a fight, but they're going to think more about how they're in engagement, because they can see that Batrider and they can see that he's close. When they know the Batrider's not there, and they're pushing the tower, and somebody dies, and there's still no reactionary TPs, and there's no Batrider there, they know, right, go for the kill. And that's exactly what they did, and as a result, they lost them the game. But hey guys, I'm your caster Migikai. You can see my results on the screen now. That was a Tau in-house game. You can check out my YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/NZDota2casting. You can check me out on Twitch TV /Migikai. Please, if you've got a Twitch account, please follow me. The more followers you get, the more branding power I can have, sort of for my own brand, being me, Migikai. I can probably do some more casting for more sort of structured team games. And if you want me to cast your games, even if they're just friendly games between a group of friends, and you think it would be really cool to have a caster, send me an email to that email address on the screen. Thanks guys for watching. I can see you. Hi guys. And anyone that watches this afterwards, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support.